Okay, welcome back to Barely a Podcast. This is barely a podcast, like I just said. Today we're gonna be talking about.
Really, it's barely a podcast.
Yeah,
No way.
this is
I
very
don't
much
think it's a
podcast
podcast.
because we upload like
That's
once
why.
a month.
That's why we haven't made an episode in like a month.
Yeah.
Anyways,
3 weeks.
Your host,
and
Evan.
here we go. We want to talk about villains today because I really like villains. This is actually a topic that I'm really.
Who doesn't like villains?
I love
Like
talking
12
about.
year
Would you say? Would you say that your life goal is to be a villain?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You either die
Like-
here or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
No. Oh,
That is
dude,
such a
I hate
great-
that line so much.
You don't like that quote?
It's so overused. It's overused.
Okay, but I still love the quote though.
But it's true, no?
Nothing will make.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is true, but at the same time, it's also very overused.
I just love the quote. I don't think anything will make me hate it. I just can't. It's just like
I mean,
the
I
origin
like
is
the
the
quote,
Dark
but-
Knight. The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Every
true.
time I like forget the origin, I look it up. I go, "Holy shit! They said that in the Dark Knight, like a Batman movie."
Bro.
Ugh,
It
it's
was
always
the
just
Joker
feels-
who it was the Joker who said that.
No, it was Harvey Dent.
It was Harvey Dent.
No, it was
No,
Harvey
no.
Dent.
It
Yeah.
was the guy, and
Bro, I used to
Yeah,
know
it
that
wasn't the
script
society.
word for word.
Really?
That's pretty sad.
What?
Nice.
Bro, it was insane.
Holy.
Like the entire opening sequence, I could do it with all the voices and like the bro.
Man.
That's
I'll
some
be honest,
dedication,
I'm not
man.
very much of a. I'm not
That
much
is
of a comic book guy.
Dedication. I'm pretty sure someone.
The Dark Knight's
I
not
think
even a
I've
comic
seen
book.
a video. I've
Yeah,
seen
no,
a
it's a
video
movie.
But I'm
someone-
saying it's like just like
But,
a
like, just-
cultural thing at this rate. Like it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
saw-
it's a cult. It's definitely a
in
cultural
my
thing. But I'm
top
just
5
talking about like in
movies.
general comics.
really.
yeah,
It is.
Really?
Yes.
That's
It's a
solid.
great
It is a
movie.
great
though,
movie.
that's the thing.
I've watched it.
Yeah.
I've seen
I
like
just
a
don't think-
video. Someone played like Assassin's Creed 2 and like recited every single line of the whole script somehow, and I was like,
Bruh.
Jeez, man.
That's no life at its prime.
bruh, I do how that's possible, but yeah,
a menace to
He probably had
society.
it in
Dark
front of
Knight
him.
is-
Let's be real.
I mean probably yeah, but I don't know. Could be anything. The guy looked like a loser too, so
Wow. Okay.
On his
Like
head.
a loser.
Pretty.
Oh, wow.
anyways,
Hey, you haven't holding back. He's saying it how he calling it how he sees it. How's that phrase go? How's
Respect.
that phrase go? Call it like I see it. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I
I think
don't
that's it.
know.
But I don't care. Anyways, villains.
Villains.
So like, I feel like what makes a good villain's relatability. I don't know. I know we're having debate before the podcast about this, but I want to say relatability.
No, the most important thing is design. That's
It's
imagine like there's like a cool villain with like the best character ever, and he looks like banana fit a skin from Fortnite or something. You're not gonna like that.
Are you telling me you don't want your villain like that?
I want my guy to be like bananas.
it's relatability to like a point of where you wouldn't take
Yeah,
action
if
if you
you're-
were them, but you would try and better yourself rather than
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're relating,
resort to
100%.
something
Yeah,
that
if you're
they
if you're
would resort to.
if you're relating to Jack the Ripper,
Yeah.
I think you have a problem, bro.
Yeah.
R/gamers
No,
rise up.
honestly,
Time to relate to Jackson.
honestly, like the complete opposite of relatability is complete foreign. Like, have you guys ever read Dean Koontz's
I wouldn't
writing?
say
I don't
that-
even think being
they-
foreign is where it's at. I just think that just
Yeah.
selling so
I-
well at being a villain that you just like they come on screen and you're just in awe.
Yeah, I think
My
that's,
favorite horror writer
That's a
is
point.
Dean Koontz, and he like writes these books about things that like not even human. Like they just like they're so far past being human. There's this one I can't even say there's this one
Are you saying like a
villain.
Hannibal Lecter type feel?
kind of there's
Yeah.
this one he's like Conrad Biso, and he's a clown, and he was born into a clown family, and he's a villain. He does some like twisted stuff, but like the whole time like he's still human. And let me find the book name.
I mean, there's like a lot of.
It's
villains
called
like
Life
that.
Expectancy.
I think I've heard about it, like the name.
Dean Koontz.
I
Dean
haven't.
Koontz is an amazing writer. I love his work. He also
Koontz is a really funny.
It is.
Grammar just talking about, oh, I love this writer. Yeah, that's a funny name.
That's anything.
The levels of intellect that's being displayed here.
We
It's a
got
villain name.
range. Anyways, I think it's not even foreign.
But-
Like I just like villains that just like they come on screen and you go, that's like that's amazing. You know, like my
Like just something that impresses
yeah,
you.
one of my favorite scenes like ever, like cinematography, everything, is the Darth Vader scene from Rogue One. That is the kind of
The
thing I'm talking
quarter
about. I
scene?
watch that
I'm
scene
pretty sure.
every single
No,
time.
but the thing, everything in that scene is like almost perfect.
Is it like is it the beginning of Rogue One?
No, it's at the end.
No, it's at the end. Yeah,
Ah,
it's like the
I'm trying to
last.
remember
It's
it.
he just dude,
Doesn't he like just kill
yeah,
like a
like dude,
crap
it
ton of
is
random
it is
people?
it
Yeah,
is
I remember
absolutely
that.
amazing. I could watch
Yeah.
an entire
They
movie
could have
length
done it better.
of
They
just
could have done it better.
okay, but it's so good. Or wait,
Yeah,
okay, but
but
anything
it's
can be
still
done better.
insane.
Everything ever
Yeah,
can
true.
be
Yeah.
done better.
I can't
You
be done
know,
better.
I
I'm amazing.
I could watch
thing
that
is, right,
scene though forever. I
that scene is also made like insanely good because of the music too.
oh
Like they
yeah.
played the Imperial March theme, but like in like a really lower tone or something,
hmm
on like a lower octave and something because it's like really in the background, not like fully in your face. It
No,
just sounds
I think
Dude,
the thing that was like the best for me is spoilers for Rogue One. At the point in the movie, like all of the main characters are dead. It's like the
that's not about the villain though. We're not
no
talking about
no
Rogue
no
One.
no.
We're talking
I
about
know we're talking about the villain. At the point in the
okay.
movie, all of the main characters are dead. We know like this is the end of the movie, and like the final scene is leading right into A New Hope where she gives the hard drive. But the thing
You're
is,
saying
they didn't have to show Darth Vader. Darth Vader was there.
purely fan service. Yeah,
He
yeah.
I
was
don't care. Fan
he
service
shows
doesn't
up.
mean bad.
No,
It's the
the
cloudy corridor.
scenes,
It's
the
the
whole
cloudy
like
corridor, and his lightsaber ignites. And
hmm
yeah.
like he doesn't have to be there. He could send his stormtroopers in, and they could just take the whole thing.
hmm
And it's just
I mean, but still, it's just good fan service. Like
That's okay. That's fan service can be good though, especially
It's
because if you
about
think about it,
sending a
It can be
message.
good.
depending on what kind of fan
Like
service we're talking
you gotta
about.
build hype up at the end. Like I think that was their whole entire point of having him there was like so people would remember that movie.
people tend to.
Like towards the end, like oh yeah, that scene. Like and it just happened for real. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Evan just
I
Dude,
mean,
referenced
I would
it
watch
if
an
you
immediately.
ask
entire
anyone,
movie that was just Darth Vader mowing through an endless corridor of rebels. I don't care.
Brunch.
I mean, yeah,
are you
true.
kidding me?
I'd watch
That
it
That
too.
makes you
Just-
sound like you like
just play
watching people
Battlefront.
die.
it's not quite
At
the
that
same.
point,
You're
true.
not wrong.
Not quite the same though, because it's
The thing
it's
is, like,
watching someone
um,
be so like just like I don't even
that
know.
reminds me of the like of the last boss battle in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Nope, be quiet. I have not played a Fallen Order. I have it, but I haven't played it.
Okay, the last like boss battle is just I can't say anything
I know
because you
I know
said
what you're
that,
talking
like, you
about.
haven't played. Yeah, if you've played the game, you
I
know
didn't
what
play
I'm
it.
Yes,
I just
that
watched
scene
it.
that
whole
scene
thing
has the
is
same.
so
It has the
good.
same type, like that same.
Like
Like
energy.
Mhm.
It has the same
It's
energy
it's
as
the
a
part in a story where you know they aren't going to survive. Like you know,
Not even survive.
there
Just
isn't
like
desperation anymore because they're so far past desperation. It's the Rock in a hard place, except the Rock in this case is Darth Vader, and the hard
a
place
3-ton
is
boulder.
thing is,
A
um,
3.
like it's like okay, so for example, there's like every movie, there's like this one scene where you like, okay, I remember because of that scene. For Rogue One, it's not gonna be the whole movie. It's just gonna be like the last 30 seconds of just Vader slaughtering him.
I actually-
Vader.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
actually
that's
have
like
to
the
say,
only good scene in that movie, in my
okay, I
opinion.
have to say, I might be in a minority here, but I love Rogue One. I think it's an amazing.
Yeah, you're a minority. I'm
I
sorry.
know,
buddy.
but I
I
legitimately
liked
think
it.
it's my favorite. I legitimately think it's my favorite Star Wars.
I don't think it's a Star Wars movie
It's one
though.
of the
I
like
didn't
a
really see it as a Star Wars movie. It didn't feel
It's not
like
like
one.
okay, not part of the saga, not
Yeah,
part of the
no, it
saga,
wasn't.
but I think that it did really, really well for what it had, and I think that that's it. Because if you want to talk about not a Star Wars,
You know what?
Hmm?
Rogue One. You know what? I think I'm confusing Rogue One with another one. You know what the worst Star Wars movie was? Solo.
Solos, yeah,
Easily
everyone
the worst.
hates Solo.
Easily
Listen,
the worst.
as not a Star Wars movie, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie, but I won't say it's a good Star Wars movie because it's not a Star Wars movie.
Solo?
Yeah, well, because I'm saying like it's really just a hyped up heist movie in the universe, and I like that.
It really was, honestly.
But I
think
like
one of my
listen,
big complaints.
I like that just because
Yeah,
I like
sorry.
things being inside Star Wars. I just like it. I like watching a good old fashioned.
Yeah,
I-
Star Wars.
Anyways, you
I will like story wise. There's a huge complaint I have with the movie, and it has to do with what is it like? It was at the beginning. I forget who it was, and like Han like fleeing the planet or something like not fleeing the planet. I forget what it was.
Mhm.
It's towards the beginning, and they had to separate
Yeah.
with each other, right? It had this huge time skip between like him trying to become a pilot to like war. Basically, I'm like, Well, you just skipped like years and years of content that could have been like a huge build up to his character, and it would have made the movie like better.
Yeah,
And they just straight up cut it out. I think that's like my biggest complaint in the movie that I still remember to this day. Like with
that
Solo,
didn't bother me that
is that
much.
they cut out this possible character development.
I don't feel like he really developed during that time, at least with the way that they put it, because he still kind of stayed kind of consistent. He just wanted to become a pilot. He didn't
That's
like the war.
I don't think
He
we should
wants to
talk
be
about
his own
Han
yeah.
man.
Solo's
I feel like
character
though he should have
development,
had
bro.
some
The
development.
only time he develops are in the sequels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mean,
true. But I think there should have been like some motive like leading up to it, really, and they never really gave it.
leading up to what?
I mean,
Just his character in like the original trilogy.
Well, that's the thing is he wasn't. I don't know. He felt like Han has always been Han, and that's why. I don't know.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie
true.
though, like the base Han, I love base Han. Like he gives off the like, oh my god, what's it like? It's neutral. Like oh my
Just-
god, not it's
Chaotic
not lawful.
neutral.
It's not neutral.
Chaotic
What is
neutral.
it? Chaotic neutral. He gives off that chaotic neutral energy.
I just like Han.
Yeah,
He's just got.
that
That's what I'm
makes
saying,
sense.
and that's why I like the movie because it felt like a nice old, just like this is what the Star Wars universe looks like when there's no Jedi or Force running around. That's why I liked it. I felt like it still reasonably stayed true to the Star Wars universe.
Thing is, Star Wars like just lore on its own just makes it so much more cooler than other
Hmm
similar, fictional universes and stuff. Just lore is amazing. They have so much potential to make. Like I think they released like their whole um like slate for what are they gonna release in the next year or so, and on Disney Plus. They were like so much spin-offs because they know they can make money off of it.
Even the Legends comics are really good.
The
Yeah.
Star
Like,
Wars.
them not
Oh
being
my
part of
god,
the-
Comics.
bro.
Star Wars comics
Star
are
Wars
great,
comics have
but
some of the best moments in comics.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
they're really
think
good.
I haven't read any. I know my girlfriend has, but I
But
haven't.
comics do moments like that much better than movies or like
It's
TV
just
shows or anything.
they can do things that aren't real. I was watching this thing once, and it made
No, not
pointed out
even.
something really nice.
One of my
Here's the thing. Well, animated. I'm saying like an animated show, for example, like characters in Star Wars can do like ridiculous stunts, things that are just not possible in real life, which like makes the moment so much better. Like these Force characters can do flips and jumps and do all this crazy stuff that you could never pull off with just like stunts, you know?
No, I'm not even
And that's
talking
what I
about like big movements or
Yeah.
anything. One of my favorite moments in comic books is during the siege of Asgard when Asgard gets teleported to Earth, and it's during the Civil War, so Norman Osborn is in power, and Nick Fury is leading a strike against Asgard, and Phobos, who's the son of Ares, and he's the god of fear. He's like born as like this kid, and he wants to convince Nick Fury to send him along with him, so he uses his powers and he scares the hell like he tries to scare Nick Fury, and Nick Fury's just like, no, I've seen everything. You can't, and that was just so badass. And he just like looks at it with like a straight face, and he's like going against the
I
god of
mean,
He goes,
fear.
he goes, nah,
there's
I'm good.
even like like Marvel and DC both have like a lot of great villains. They have a lot of trash villains too, but
I think the greatness
like
outweighs the
you know
trash.
Well, the
that's true. But like they have like hundreds of villains, like thousands of
They do.
villains. So I mean,
you gotta
a lot of
gotta
them
make good ones sometimes,
are
right?
bound to be good. Yeah,
I just gotta say that they did Thanos dirty in Endgame.
How's that?
He was still pretty good though.
I just want to throw that out there. It was. I did not like Endgame.
Honestly,
Let me
I
be
kind of wish they kept Thanos alive because I wanted to see him and Adam Warlock
Yes,
go
same.
wild, bro. Him and Adam Warlock are
oh,
so.
that
Like,
would
there's
be
so much
so
more-
cool. Holy shit,
I,
that
I,
would
yeah,
be
Bro,
I
have
don't
you
really
seen
like-
those
I
comics?
don't read comics much. I read manga mostly.
Yeah.
But like I
Bro,
know from the
Thanos-
comics that Thanos has a much bigger role.
Oh yeah,
in the
for
universe.
sure. If you've read the Marvel comics with Thanos, it's crazy. It's nothing like the movies portrayed it as.
The thing is, right? Thanos
they
is
did
like I
dirty.
feel like Thanos is much more likable in the movies, but he's much more cool in the like comics because he's so much.
Oh, he's
stronger in
much
the
more
comics,
badass
it's
in the
not even a
comics,
joke.
for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's this. Okay, so old man Thanos, right? He doesn't even have the Infinity Gauntlet, and he like I think he goes toe to toe against Odin, who's supposed to be like
Yeah, Odin is
God.
insane,
Yeah,
bro.
he's like-
insane.
he's insanely strong, and he goes toe to toe like old man Thanos goes toe to toe without an Infinity Gauntlet against Odin, and I'm like, bro, yeah, and like I think the movie's Thanos was like Hulk level, but like slightly stronger than him in base, which is not
They
that
tried
strong.
Yeah.
they tried to portray him in the movie as like indestructible, unstoppable, when in reality, the comics portrayed him as unstoppable because of.
And then you had just had Captain Marvel going like,
Yeah,
just
I
like
think
destroy him.
Prime
I'm like, what the heck? Like,
Prime
just
Thor in the like MCU can probably beat Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet.
What was Thanos? Hmm.
I'm not
Oh
gonna lie, I
yeah,
don't like the Thor
Corvus
movies.
Glaive.
I
They did
don't
his
think
mate.
many people
They
do.
did the children of Thanos wrong. They did the like children
Yeah.
of Thanos wrong. They
Oh,
did the whole.
how so?
You know who Corvus Glaive is?
I don't know the names of all of them like off the top of my head.
He's the one with the glaive, and he has the
I
hood.
somewhat remember. I s-
Oh, I see that
oh
guy.
yes, him.
Okay.
Okay, him. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about now.
He's so
Okay.
badass in the comics. He pulls up to this world's um a kingdom, this planet's kingdom, because they have like brood stuff, so they like have nice soldiers. And he pulls up with their sons. He pulls up to the king and queen with their son's arm in a box. He's like, "Here's your champion." He
Nice.
throws it on the floor. He's like, "Now give us payment." And it's just so badass. It's like
Damn.
this. I can't even describe it right.
Okay, wait. I think we're circling something, right? And here's what I want to. Here's my big thing, right? I feel like relatable villains are overdone now. Yeah, they're good, but I'm tired of seeing every villain given something where I'm like, oh, that's so sad, because it has to be done really well or something like. Or,
Yeah, no, not like a whole entire like so sad thing. It's a more of I see his issue.
yeah, but I just want to, and that
but
just, but I see that now, and I just go, that's an original villain. That's not original. It's just like a good villain, you know. And
And
like,
then sometimes, yeah,
doesn't make the villain stick out as like amazing to me, you know.
A
And I feel
good.
like
If we
you have to
continue
do
on the
something
vein,
original. You have
yeah, no, there has to be originality to it. But I'm saying like more
wait,
of
I'm
like the
flipping.
evil to be
Wait, I'm gonna
evil.
flip in a
I
different direction.
prefer.
So I think that it's because
Yeah,
I think we all know that what makes a good relatable villain, you know, and then, but I feel like
Yeah.
what makes that good evil villain? That's my because I keep wondering
I think a good
what makes
True.
what makes a really evil villain good? Because like
a motive so unreasonable that you wouldn't really understand why they're doing it.
I think a good. I
Not
think
even a
a.
motive. I just think
I don't
straight
care about
up.
their motive. I don't think though.
Yeah, but
I
like if their
You're
motive is
yeah.
unreasonable
I
and
mean
it's
I
like,
watched this
why
video.
would you do this because of this? It just makes you think like, what's wrong with them? What's
A
going on in
good
their head?
a
Hmm.
good
How
villain,
far can they take it?
if we stay in the
Yeah.
vein of Marvel comics, is Annihilus or Gore, the
So
God Butcher.
yeah. I was watching this video on Gyro's role in the Hunter x Hunter manga, right? I think that's pure evil.
I don't know. You're right.
Like so
wait,
his character is basically he's so evil that he wants to basically destroy everyone for literally no reason.
I
Hmm.
mean,
I think
It's kind of
I think
like
strength.
Like his is true evil
I think
if you know his backstory.
I think strength is
yeah,
a
I know that.
big
Like,
aspect here though. Because if you have a wimpy one,
the thing is,
I don't think they're just not that impressive.
Yeah,
Actually,
true,
one that
but
the
it
hero
depends
actually
on
has
like
trouble
their
defeating.
Actually,
own like,
attitude. I'm gonna say
universe,
attitude.
so
It's
that's
like
the thing.
if as they attack other people, how do they act? You know, because I feel like there's two veins of like impressive heroes that I can recall. I feel like there's a nonchalant villain who just like this is easy. You know, like the Vader scene. He
Mhm.
does not give a fuck. He's like this is the easiest shit I've ever done, and while he casually like rips apart these trained soldiers, right? And then they're also like
Yeah.
the absolute homicidal rage one. I'm trying to think of someone right now, but I feel like there's also that kind of villain where I get really impressed because they're just so ridiculously like
The old Joker,
yeah.
basically.
Kill as many people as possible.
Did anyone see?
The
Did
thing
everyone
is
see
that
JoJo Part 4?
I have.
I have
You
not,
have
but I
not.
don't
I have
care.
not. You
Okay.
can spoil it.
The thing is,
Yeah, no,
I've
I've only
really-
seen
no,
part one,
yeah,
2, and
I
3.
think I know what
Bits
Vinny's
of
gonna
4.
go on
Yeah.
about. I'm
You
pretty sure.
go on about it. I do
Yeah,
not care about
Kira,
JoJo
the
Part
villain
4.
of JoJo Part
Okay.
4, is like I'm pretty sure like one of
Kira?
the weakest, yeah, villains in all of JoJo,
Kira
but he's the best
Yoshikage.
villain.
He is probably one of the
Yeah.
best villains of all time that I've ever kind of experienced, read, watched. Just because his motive is just to live a quiet life.
Live a normal life.
He wants
Yeah,
to live a
like
normal
quiet.
life,
But he's a
and
serial
he's
killer.
granted these powers that he did not want, but he uses them for his
Was it
own.
the? Isn't that the stand arrow?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was kind of like
It's
he can turn anything he wants into a bomb. That was his power, and
Yeah.
he goes on to use that to terrorize women, and he just wanted to quote unquote live a quiet life. And
wildlife. Yeah,
then
he's a serial killer who like collects women's hands.
he was just a businessman.
The Mona Lisa's hand.
Uh huh. Do you remember that
What-
part? Yeah.
Classic.
Classic.
One of my
Whoa.
favorite
Oh,
villains
boy.
who goes along that line of like completely warped is this guy called Gore. He's from Marvel, and Thor faces him. He has this backstory that's really depressing. He's born on this planet, and his father dies, and they're all like god worshipping things, and he grows up and he's doubting all of these gods, and then his mother dies, and then he grows up and he has kids, and then his wife dies while pregnant, and his kids die, and he gets thrown out of his tribe because he buries his son underground, which like you're not supposed to do in the tribe. And he ends up wandering through the desert. He's almost dead, and then two godlike beings fall onto the planet, and they're almost dead. And one of them asks him for help to defeat the other one, and he says no, and he kills both of them and takes both of their power. And he goes from this person that with this like really depressing past to this warped view of reality where every god needs to die, and and it's just like you can see it's like a really depressing backstory, but there's a point where he he has all this power and he recreates his son, I guess. Like he recreates him, and like, it's just, I mean,
Mm.
I mean, yeah,
like
there's like also the
there's a point where like a bad backstory doesn't like it's not a get out of jail free card forever.
You know what?
I'm trying
I
to,
feel like
yeah, true.
I feel like what we're saying here is I don't know. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to trace. I just want to know what makes me think a villain's really good, and I think that it's almost like we're taking if a villain becomes really good once they have a like their regardless of their backstory, what happens to them is they stop caring about like anything. Like once
Accept their
they
motive. Accept their motive.
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying, and they just have no moral sense. I think is
like a pure psychopath.
yeah, something like that, where they just do not care about anything anymore.
They're in it for the
Yeah.
I'm
ride.
trying to
I
remember
mean,
what it.
depends. I'm
Let me
trying
see
to
if I can find it. But
I'm trying to think of
Emp
one of my like
Lemon in
favorite
his
villains.
video on what makes a good villain, he mentioned this one villain that was like, what's it? He left death up to fate, and he was like a psychopath. I'm trying to find the movie. He mentioned in his video. Let's see if I can get it.
I mean, there's okay, so like Doctor Doom, even though he's like an anti-villain, not like a full villain, he's one of my
Doctor Who?
favorites. Just because of how Doctor
Doctor
Doom,
Doom. Okay.
just because of how goofy he is. He's not insanely strong. He's
He
not.
does
He doesn't
get
have like
insanely
a
strong,
really sad
though, bro.
backstory. I mean, no, he does. Like most of the times, he's not.
Cosmic Doom.
I'm talking like base Doctor Doom, like just the
Ba-
normal Doctor Doom.
You should
He
base
doesn't have
Doctor
like
Doom for a
insane.
second. I was like, oh,
Yeah, Doctor Doom
He
is
doesn't have
a
like
guy
insane backstory.
who
He's just a rich dude.
he's just a rich dude who ended up
practically.
Iron Man
so
who decided
jealous
to
of
go
his
bad.
so jealous of
Bro,
his
he's just a cooler Iron Man. I'm not even joking. He's just a cooler Iron Man. Like this, okay, so there's this like very funny scene of I should say it's an issue, right? Of Luke Cage who does like something for Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom promises he's gonna pay him money. Luke Cage does it because is like in dire need of money, like wants to get an operation for his mom or something,
Broke boy.
right? And yeah, and Luke Cage does it, and Doctor Doom promises him money, but Doctor Doom does not give him money. Just flies back to like his country. I forgot the name, like Latveria or
Latveria,
something.
yeah.
And
Moral of the story: don't be
yeah,
broke.
no, no. And what happened
Broke.
was Luke Cage rocks up to his castle in Latveria and beats up everyone, and then makes Doctor Doom like plead for his life and shit. And it's just so goofy. Even though Doctor Doom's like pretty strong, I'd argue he could beat Luke Cage. He's just so goofy and he doesn't give a shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a moral code that just stops caring about anybody. I think that's like, because then I think you have some sort of like gruesome admiration. I think that's the term I'll use. Where it's just like, it's just so.
The lack of
I don't even
humanity.
know.
The lack of humanity is the humanity.
But sometimes I can feel like I can see like an unhuman one and just not care. I think that you have to have some sort of power with you. You know, you have to have the ability to like pummel all the people in your way and just do it selectively. You know, not
Here
even
we
do it
go.
selectively.
I found the villain. I found the villain I was looking for. That
My
was mentioned
favorite
in that one
villain is
video.
Eren Yeager. No, I'm joking. I hate Eren.
Okay, yeah, no.
I hate Eren so much, dude.
Dude,
As a villain,
No, I just hate him.
I agree. No, I don't
You
like
hate
Eren
who?
Yeager either.
Eren.
Yeager.
Eren Yeager.
Fuck
I don't
Eren.
think he's a
Dude,
villain.
fuck.
I
Yeah, no,
think
I don't think-
No,
everybody.
he's not a convincing villain.
He's a villain.
He's
to
not a
extent.
convincing villain.
Definitely
I
not
feel
a
like it made
convincing
sense.
villain.
I read up all over the manga because I was
Maybe
so
an
upset.
anti-hero?
No,
Maybe?
I was so upset, right? So I read up all the manga, right? Or I read up on what happened in it. And then I can kind of see it, but it's still, the problem is the way the anime portrayed him just didn't make sense. It didn't add up, you know? I felt like they didn't.
Well, there were 4
it.
years in between the time, and we
Yeah,
don't-
but it's just like you can't show any of it, you know? You got to show that drastic a change.
Well, they'll probably,
Yeah.
hopefully they portray that, but right now he's only seen as just some revenge thirsty kid
Yeah.
who lost his
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and now they're just like, because the whole point, I feel like his big arc was learning that he should be trusting others, even if he has all this power, and I felt like he was conflicted throughout the whole series, and they never.
The thing is,
they never,
he's just a dickhead now. That's
That's
the
the thing
thing.
is,
He's not
there's
even.
no,
Yeah,
there's no
he is just a dick
motive.
now.
The motive is just weak and doesn't really tie to his character very strongly. He's just like, haha, bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially
I
because he
get-
had this
okay,
sense
so,
of wonder.
I'm not
The
gonna.
whole time he has this sense of wonder about the world. I feel like if he learned that it's full of other people, he'd be happy. You know, even if they hate him.
I'm not gonna spoil
the,
the manga,
the thing
I mean,
is,
but
like,
He tries to save.
I get what you mean.
He tries to save. What's the names of the Titans? Spoilers, by the way.
The Eldians.
No, the Titans that he
El-
killed in the third season.
Uh, what do you mean?
Like
try
the
to save?
people.
Bertolt and
Yeah,
Reiner.
he like at first at one point he's like
Oh,
he tries to
Bertolt
reason with
Reiner.
him. He's like, Bertolt Reiner, why would you do this? You know. But then with Marlians,
Yeah.
he's like, haha, kill him.
Yeah, he even realizes that he literally says after like talking to
Yeah, he's
I
like
forgot his
I
name,
don't care.
that
I'm
kid.
one of
He's
you.
like I
too.
don't care. That's
He's
not a
like,
good
yeah.
motivation. You have to have a reason not to
Yeah,
care.
he's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's like Reiner. I know that good people after coming here, I know that good people exist outside the wall
Mhm.
and stuff too. But I'm just
Yeah.
gonna move forward and like kill,
That's-
like commit
that's-
genocide literally.
And that's not a good
Oh, yeah.
motivation because he doesn't have a good reason to do it in the first place. He has no
Yeah,
reason
he's
to
just
push.
doing like.
And I
he's
think
tr-
that's
he's-
what the purpose of it is trying to be, is so that they're like not the author, the readers like, why is he doing this? I think that's the whole reason there is no motive like presented
But
there in the
that's just
anime.
bad writing in my opinion, though.
The thing is, I
I
don't
don't
get.
think it's
I'm not-
bad
he
writing.
hasn't
though.
explained it.
Like I was
No, it's
saying,
not
if
bad
they
writing.
explain it, it becomes
there shouldn't. I don't. I mean, yeah, explanation
they
was
kind of
was soon to
explain,
come,
yeah.
but at this point in the anime though, I think like they're trying to portray him as that person that's like, you have no good
As
motive.
some-
why
like
the hell-
The
someone
thing is,
you've
okay, so I'm
used to
as
know,
I said,
but not
I'm gonna-
anymore.
yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the manga, right? But they kind of explain why he's pushing so hard for this, and also, the manga's about to end in like 2 chapters. The one comes out day after tomorrow, and the next one comes out next month. That's the final chapter. I'm pretty sure he is gonna explain like fully what was like
dude.
really driving
he's
Claire
gotta.
to do everything he
Because
has.
if he doesn't, then I'll just be pissed.
He has to have something. There's
Because
no
otherwise,
other-
it's just
Yeah.
such a drastic change. Because he still has a chance. Like he still has a chance for me to be like, oh, that makes sense, you know. But he is not there.
Yeah.
But couldn't
I
you
feel like
argue at the same
Isaiah was
time
like
that his
too good of a writer to leave it just for like interpretation. Why it is doing that
Wait,
stuff.
Jem, what are you saying?
I was saying at this now I
At the
completely forgot
same
what I was
time,
saying.
can't
God.
you argue?
I was saying at the same time, can't you argue?
Because I might have an idea of
Yeah,
what
I
you're
can't think of
you
it.
might be about to. Is it? Are you saying?
All right,
Go ahead.
Yeah, see if you can jog my memory.
Okay,
Yeah, you go
yeah.
ahead.
See
I
if I
wanna
can
see
jump your memory, because I
you're
could be
saying was what I
totally
was
off.
gonna
But I've
say.
heard people argue that Aaron hasn't changed at all, and it's just like a change of where his focus is. But I don't like that argument.
Oh, you know, I remember what I was gonna say now. I say the purpose like that is that trying to show that he hasn't learned a lesson. I think what you're really trying to believe in your heads that he did learn a
Yes,
lesson, and that. But I think at the same time, you can also say you learned a lesson at the time, but you didn't fully take
I
on
would
the
agree
lesson.
with that.
I
But
think
I
that's
just
what's trying to be
why can't he
conveyed.
just learn the lesson? Because it's a story.
That's well, I don't think it's because of the story. I think that's like more realistic if you learn a lesson and you completely forget it and just say screw
But I
it.
feel like at this rate, he's seen so much horrible stuff, he would remember his lesson instead of seeing like spoilers, Sasha dying, and straight up being like, eh.
It's a means for a way.
But my point is like that's like totally like even with the Aaron that we saw, that's just out of character. Like the Aaron we saw would be like pissed as fuck. He would not settle for just that like someone
I love how we've
like
done
that
this and we
die.
haven't really spoiled anything.
You
I will.
you could see him
Like, we
react
haven't
to
even
it.
told each other, don't spoil, bro. We've done this without spoiling, and I that was kind of
I
dope.
literally just spoiled. That's like a
He's
heavy
done-
spoiler.
Well,
Okay, so when she died, he did
Yeah.
react to it, but in a way where he was so
Not-
motive driven
was
that
different.
he just saw it as a nuisance. He
That's what
saw
I'm
it
saying,
as
but, like,
something that
yeah.
would
But
I'm saying,
hold
like,
his
that-
teammates
that
back.
just
And
means for a
That
way.
just felt so. It felt out of character.
yeah,
Because the old Aaron that at least, and I could be wrong, but the Aaron that I feel like
but
I
it
remember
also yeah.
was all
it's-
about like his friends. Everything was about freedom
Mhm.
for him.
No,
and his
100%. That's
friends.
why he saved Armin, and decided they had to give him the Titan spinal fluid instead
Mhm.
of Erwin.
Urban Jaeger.
That you're right.
And
You're exactly
and
right.
ev-
That's what he
and that's
was
the problem.
before.
Is even though I can understand like not learning a lesson. You know, if he's just the same dude, it's kind of frustrating. But I can understand that. The problem is beyond not learning a lesson. I feel like he's lost his personality, and I haven't seen it happen over time. So I just don't feel motivated by it. Like I don't feel any attachment to that happening or like any tragedy sense in it because I haven't seen him lose that. You know, I haven't seen any catalyzing action or something that would change him. You know, it doesn't make sense that he would just lose something that was so integral to his character for the first 3 seasons.
Thing is,
Alright.
right? Even him, I feel like Eren is just like I don't like him mostly because he's just a piece of shit. Like there
Oh
are
yeah, no, that's why I don't like him either.
there are a lot of like villains who do bad stuff, but they're not like total cunts. So, for example, let me
Aaron's
think.
not. Aaron just drags all of his country into a war.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite
That, like,
villain
they were
probably
preparing
of
for.
all time, like
For
two of my
selfish causes.
two of my favorite villains of all time are Grollo and Merriwer from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
Um,
Chrollo is a good villain.
Like
Miriam
and Merriwer
as well.
too, who
Oh,
like has a
good
complete.
villains.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
Oh my
Nah.
god. I don't know what to say. I guess that's why I wanted to talk about this episode. If it was you and me, just Miriam and Chrollo. Oh, I love Miriam. Oh.
So Jem, how do you feel
Like-
about Miriam? I just hadn't really gathered it. So
Oh god.
yeah,
I mean, are you guys
Miriam's
okay
a
with me spoiling it?
amazing villain.
I'm fine
I
with
don't
it.
watch
I'm
it.
finished.
No, please don't spoil it. The thing is, for Grimmer and Evan, right? If we spoil it, the whole thing's gonna
True,
be ruined
but-
because characters like Gary Hunter as a show.
Hunter's 100% character base. Oh, if for people like listening and know about Miriam's whole development, that is what makes a good villain.
Bro, Merriam and Gon's like dynamic. Oh, that's so good. I love Hunter x Hunter so
God.
much. Holy shit.
And also, Golan's shifting character towards the end was something else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Merriam and Gon, like that whole thing. I'm not gonna say anything because it's spoiling, but yeah, it's great. Everyone should watch
So
Hunter x
hard.
Hunter. Like,
Everyone, literally, yeah, I don't care. Your family, your children, your unborn child. Everyone should watch it.
yeah, when Hunter x Hunter comes back,
Masterpiece.
like when Hunter x Hunter finishes in like 100 years, you have to like have some tape recording from now. To your like grandchildren, like great grandchildren.
Kind of like One Piece.
Are you 100 years is that's an underestimate there. I mean, you gotta go a little further for Hunter x Hunter the finish.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say that it's not that big of a. Kind of is. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna DM you.
No one's seen One Piece, huh? No one's seen One Piece, huh?
Yeah,
I
dude,
don't
I
care.
want to, but it's too long.
Is that big of a spoiler?
No. It's
No,
whatever.
I just said to DM.
It's good. One Piece is really good if you
No,
have the time, but obviously it's very long. So
if you have the
if you
time.
have the
No,
time,
let's look at my anime list. One Piece has 165 episodes, and Detective Conan just released its 1000th episode.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I used to watch Detective Conan as a kid, like 100 something episodes. It was so good.
Yeah. Anyways.
One Piece chapter
Yep.
1000.
I
I'm just
want to
gonna
watch
say
it,
it.
but 1,000 episodes.
Gotta go watch
No.
all 1,286 episodes of Fairy Tale.
I've watched all of them.
That's
Every single
depressing.
one. Well,
Bro,
I think
isn't
I'm
that a
maybe
show
down
about
20.
people wanting to find a treasure, except they don't actually want to find the treasure?
Which one?
That's dead ass the
Like I
whole.
just say, yeah, Hunter x Hunter is never gonna finish. I mean, the whole entire show takes place in the literal middle of a lake in a much larger world. It's a freaking lake. Like Hunter x Hunter is never gonna finish. It's crazy
Bro,
how big the
it
universe
has
is.
to. The guy has back problems. He's probably gonna die soon. I hope he doesn't. I want Hunter to finish so
Yeah.
bad.
Hey, from what I've heard though, he's trying to get someone else to pick up Hunter x Hunter.
It's not gonna be
And
as
it's
good.
like-
I don't trust anyone with that.
No. True. Hunter x Hunter is just something else.
UFO table.
But yeah, just the whole entire thing with the Dark Continent and like how it's just the freaking the whole thing we see in the show, the whole world map is literal. It's nothing. It's literally a speck in a lake. That's just crazy.
Wait, wacky.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's the vastness of the world of Hunter x Hunter just makes me excited. Like that, I think it really captures the the idea of adventure. Like when you get to
It
that
really
part.
does. The thing is, I feel like I okay, so the two like Jem said this too. The two shows and like or manga, whatever, which really capture what a shonen is supposed to be are Jujutsu Kaisen and Hunter x Hunter.
I love Jujutsu Kaisen. It's so good so
100%
far.
And I
true.
say
Jujutsu
this so
Kaisen
much.
has the
JJK
fights
is
and
so
like not
good.
and it kind of doesn't follow all like the tropes kinda like there's hints of them here and there, right? You have, I mean, obviously the main character is 100% a shonen main character. Let's just get that out of the way. But I don't think anyone could argue that freaking what's his name, Itadori, right? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Did
Yeah.
I get it?
Yeah,
You
it does.
Itadori? Yeah, like no one can argue that he's not a typical shonen main character, right? But I
Yeah.
think it doesn't go about like the emotional power ups and crap like that. There was only one. It was never even done. He never even did it. It
I
was-
mean, yeah,
like,
but
there's none of that
they
typical
obviously there
shonen
are
trope,
power
overpowered.
since it's a
Huh? What were you saying? Yeah.
I was saying, like it's
He died.
yeah.
Damn, he's dead.
I was gonna say right. No, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say, it's like obviously there are gonna be power ups since it is a shonen anime, right? But the way they do it is insane, and also they have like this one character who's just the strongest in the whole verse until now. Like any out of
Gojo.
any
Yeah,
character they
Gojo is
produce.
so well
So
done.
they have this
Gojo
like
is so well done.
bro,
I'm not even gonna
he's-
talk about how well done he is.
yeah.
I love Gojo.
I usually don't like characters which are just OP for being OP, but Gojo is such a character that I excuse it. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't care.
Quote, I could kill the whole administration and take power, but they would just find someone to replace me.
Hey, he's so
I
cool.
love that line. Yeah, I like Gojo. He is a main character that's overpowered and well done. It's like he's
No,
goofy,
the thing is, he's the
but
main.
he's so strong. He acknowledges it and he jokes about
he
it.
knows he's powerful. He isn't like. He isn't a character. He
Doesn't really
knows
brag.
So
he's
self-aware.
powerful. He doesn't care about anyone else. He's supremely confident in that power, and like he still
Yeah,
manages
but he
to
doesn't
feel
show
like a
it
normal
much either.
human being.
He's a thing is everyone knows he's like insanely powerful, so they can't really do anything either.
Infinity Domain.
Bro, Infinite Domain is actually so busted. Holy shit.
It
But
is. You
that's
can't
like
touch it.
spoiler category. No one who hasn't watched it will know this stuff. But yeah,
Jesus. Yeah. You know what the best series this season is? Wonder Egg Priority.
I haven't watched it yet. I need to.
It's,
It
mean,
is one
based
of the
on
best
Vinny's BFA.
this season. Yeah, based on my previous BFE and Vinny's BFE, you can tell it's good.
it's very good.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna like it more than JJK. Like Jujutsu Kaisen currently is like my top 5 anime of all time.
Yeah, obviously, the show's not gonna have like, amazing fights.
Yeah.
I compare the development to something like, oh man, I'd feel like it's gonna be a sin if I even compare anything to such a great show, but Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like something like that, where it's like there are fights, right? But it's not the whole thing about the show.
I mean,
There's
like
something much deeper.
my top 4 barely has any fights. Well, I don't except for JJK. My like top 3 barely has any fights. It's Hunter x Hunter, which doesn't have that many fights, except for like the first, like the second arc. Then Steins Gate, which doesn't have any fights since it's like a science fiction show. And then there's Code Geass, which doesn't have that many fights either. I don't know. I feel like Code Geass, looking back on it, is such a mess, but it's so good at the same time. I don't know how.
You're talking to someone that likes Fire Force. I mean, like,
Yeah. But Fire Force season 2
Yeah.
is so
Code Geass was great,
so questionable, dude.
but on really right now,
huh? What is questionable?
Fire Force season 2, very questionable.
It's questionable. I think the manga pulled it off better.
I'm really liking Wonder
I
Egg though.
eventually just ended up dropping.
Dude,
Oh, yeah,
Wonder
no,
Egg is
100%
like
Wonder Egg.
probably the best psychological right now. It's super relatable.
Oh yeah, 100%. I
It's,
mean, you have a girl whose literal only friend in life kills herself, and she tries freaking like redeeming it.
She tries to
It's-
redeem herself,
It's definitely
and
something.
then ends up meeting others
Yeah.
with the same problem, and then.
I'm probably gonna
realize-
start watching it as soon as possible. I've heard a lot of praise for it, so yeah. Thing is,
Yeah, it's underrated.
as I was saying, Code Geass isn't consistent. Bunch of it is like consistently good, but not great or not bad either. It's just good. Is My Hero Academia. It's just so.
It's good.
It's mediocre.
Every time,
It's
listen, I
good,
watch
yeah.
it and it satisfies my expectations, and I'm happy. That's it.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not,
that's what I'm saying.
it's not
That's what
gonna
I mean by
blow you
mediocre.
away.
Like there's nothing special to it, but you can sit down and enjoy
Yep.
it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm surprised that MHA actually works so well because the characters are so bad. Like they're so
I'm-
bland. What's
I'm
Deku?
not gonna lie.
Name
I'm
like
kind of happy. Sorry.
name
ahead.
like 5 traits of Deku. Like 5.
Five. What?
Wants to be All Might. Done. 2 wants to be All Might.
Yeah.
3.
Three.
Exactly.
Wants to be All Might.
Uh,
4. He beat the living crap out of Chisaki, which they did him wrong. They did him wrong
like
as well. He got the Thanos treatment. Chisaki should not have been destroyed in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's really shouldn't have. Overall, such a good villain. Like overall fight against.
Oh, God.
Okay, so Anime Awards by Crunchyroll, right? They had this best fight section, and I don't think it should have won, but Deku versus
No,
Chisaki
did it
or
win?
Deku versus overall won, but it should have been. Okay, it's like a popularity contest, right? It's fan
It
based.
is a popularity
It's
contest.
fan
That was a
voting.
horrible fight.
I don't like that
That
fight.
was horrible.
Mirio versus
Dude, the man literally had like an invincibility buff.
Mirio
the whole
versus
time.
overhaul is such a better fight,
Can
and
we-
it didn't even get
Can
nominated.
the author please just kill off Ares? Thank you. I'd really appreciate it if the My Hero author just straight up killed off Ares.
I
The
don't
little
want
girl?
to kill off Eri. That's the thing. Yeah.
Jesus.
No, I want
I
Mirio
hate
to
her.
have back his
I
power.
oh,
hate
it's because
her
she's
so
broken. Are you saying
much.
because she's broken?
Yes, it's because she's broken. She's freaking
Okay, but
broken.
she-
she's able to like.
But
dude,
she's a
she
little
hops on the
girl,
Deku,
bro.
1,000,000%
Hey, yo,
power.
chill.
I don't
Bro,
care.
Eri low-key annoying. She caused Mirio to lose her powers. I hate her instantly.
Or
She
like
what?
just get rid of her quirk. Like her quirk just disappears.
She got Mirio to lose his powers.
That's
like,
facts.
squad.
I was pretty upset about that.
I
I
hate
was
her
pretty
inst-
upset about
Bro,
that.
I was so
Yeah.
sad.
But that was a good moment though. Like the sad moment part when you realize, holy shit, he's about to lose his power.
Bro,
that's
it's
that part.
that fight
I
is
was broke, bro.
Yeah,
Mirio
that was
I
versus
win.
emotional.
Holy,
Mirio
I
versus
win. Bro, I'm
overhaul.
broke.
Gentle criminal.
Gentle,
Oh
dude.
no,
Gentle criminal is such a fucking meme.
My girlfriend made a joke about like a
bro, this
gentleman
fight.
criminal,
Look
right?
at
And then I immediately pulled out my phone. I'm like, well, I got some news for you. And I pulled up the video. I'm like, you know how like he was posting videos on like YouTube and My Hero. And he's just like gentle criminal. I'm like, I showed it. I was like, this is exactly what you were thinking, but you haven't seen this yet.
bro. Overhaul versus Mirio. I'm gonna go back to this again and again. That fight is probably my favorite fight in all of My Hero Academia, even counting the One for All versus All Might fight, which was All for One versus All Might.
That was a good fight.
Um, that was a really good
Yeah.
fight. Yeah, wasn't that like
I'll
the
be honest, I
last
don't really
big
remember that
fight?
fight too well.
Yeah, but I don't remember like all the details, but I remember watching it and be like, "Yo, okay." Actually,
Yeah,
hold up. Really, really good fight that I felt like was so well done was the last fight of the season of the current season, which was
Levi Birth Beast
Ah.
Titan.
what's his name?
Huh?
Endeavor. Endeavor
one?
fighting that the one Nobu.
Ooh, oh, I don't
You
remember
don't?
that.
Oh, it was so good.
Well, if I maybe see the
Oh
character
yeah,
design for the villain, I
Endeavor
might.
versus Nobu. Yeah,
Endeavor versus that
was
one
like the
Nobu,
last.
Okay.
dude. I was like, that was a good fight because like you hate Endeavor, and all of a sudden you see all the you've been seeing all this development happen, and then it all culminates here because you get to watch it.
Oh, this guy.
And, yeah,
I know
Yeah,
who
you
you're
get to
talking
Endeavor
about.
watch
versus
you get to
Nobu
watch the
is
development like
such a
pay
good
off,
fight,
and it's like the most satisfying like payoff in terms of like character development ever because he's been an ass the whole time, but you see him like he wants to not be an ass once he realizes like All Might's not number one anymore. He's like I have to step up. I have to like start doing stuff, and like but like you haven't really seen him like do anything towards that yet. But then all of a sudden, you get this huge like amazing fight against him and this guy, and he's like literally dying, literally killing himself to win this fight. Ah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Season 4 was such a messy thing.
Yeah,
like,
season
It
4 is
was-
messy.
such a,
but
I'm not
season,
gonna lie, it was a bit of a
such a roller
letdown.
Season
coaster.
five-
Like
season-
no, it was a roller coaster. It was okay. So it was good at the beginning.
Anyone watch-
It got great in the middle. Then it got trashed towards like middle of the
the
end.
very
right?
end though, the
Ah.
very end.
The very end was good.
Dude, I was
By
like,
the way, can I just say this is
I
something we
remember
can
watching it.
all talk
I
about?
remember watching it. Wait,
Like that's not like.
go ahead.
Sorry. I know I'm changing.
Okay, let me finish
topics.
up then. I was just saying, it just reminded. I was saying, fuck, did I lose it? I might have lost it. Oh, I remember watching it and I was like, is this still the same season? And I like, cause like they switched plot lines so much throughout that season, where I was like, I had to keep checking to make sure that a new season hadn't started. But anyways, that's all I had to say for that.
Alrighty, and with that, I think we're gonna wrap up this episode. Before we go, I just want to say we finally found out that Elden Ring is actually being made. Finally, we got something Elden Ring related. I just wanted to throw that at the end, but yeah,
Happy for you.
that was. Yes, hey, I got something Elden Ring, and we had no idea that game was being made at this point. It's hey, George R.R. Martin's writing it, so it's never getting finished. It's never getting finished, man. Martin's writing. He writes a word a day.
Winter 2020, Winds of Winter 2021. It ain't never happening, bro.
Winter 2022. Yeah, it's Martin. He writes a singular word a day and just calls it a day. It's like, okay, I wrote a word down. It's
Yeah.
progress.
Anyways,
All right. Anyways,
the
my rant aside about
takeaways-
Elden Ring.
takeaways from this episode are you should strive to become a villain. Like watch
Yeah,
Jujutsu
everyone should become a
Kaisen,
villain.
watch Hunter x Hunter.
No, I don't. I want to see loser villains out in the world. I want to see more gentle criminals IRL.
IRL gentle criminals. It's just someone who
yeah.
inconveniences
Watch
people.
Hunter x Hunter, watch Jujutsu Kaisen, watch
Just puts Legos on the sidewalk.
Read comic books.
Gentle criminal.
That's an actual villain.
Who?
Yeah.
I gotta go, guys. See you around.
Putting
Well,
like
this is where we wrap up the
Legos at the
episode
end.
then.
yeah. Anyways, see ya.